Great.
Hey.
So, good evening and welcome, friends, as we begin our newest edition of Gyandeep, where we bring to you all those people who have grown in the ranks in their life. They have been there, done that, faced challenges, of course, like everyone else does. We all go through challenges, but what is the differentiator is the manner in which we face the challenges and the way we come out of it, how we use the challenges to our benefit and learn from it, and therefore become better individuals, grow larger in life, and become role models. Similarly, we have with us an IIT, IIM, and an individual who has gotten into the training industry, one of the first consulting agencies into training, and to think of something like that and then grow it to the levels that it is at in the current times in itself would have been a great challenge. So, how and what of it, and what was the journey, what were the challenges, we will know more about it straight from the person himself. So, I bring to you Mr. Mukesh Khetrapal. Welcome, Mr. Mukesh Khetrapal. It is
Thank you.
indeed a great joy to have you today. And I'm sure, as a lot of our viewers are from the training fraternity, they would have more than a leaf to draw from whatever we discussed today. So, welcome once again, and
Thank you.
wonderful to
Thank
have you
you.
on board.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
So I gave a very brief introduction about you because what shall I talk about and what shall I leave out? That's the kind of a challenge that I was facing. So therefore, I
Right.
thought I would leave it up to you to
Uh-huh.
sum up in short as to how your life's journey your life journey has been, and
Right.
how would you like to present yourselves?
Okay, let me take you through my career a little bit. I did my engineering and I went to XLRI, like you just said. And then I worked in the corporate world for close to 19 years. I essentially, I spent my time in sales and marketing. And in the course of my, 19 years of experience in the corporate world, I started off by working with a company called Tata Steel. It was an iconic company, and we had a very charismatic managing director in those days called Mr. Rusi Modi.
You
You know,
see.
yeah, so he was my source of inspiration, and I joined that organization. I didn't stay there too long. You know, Within 1 year of joining that organization, I realized that this is not the place to be in. Um, I chose to put in my papers. And the reason why I chose to put in my papers was that I found that Tata Steel, but a very big organization. I mean, approximately, if nothing else, about 20,000 people would be working in Tata Steel in those days. And here I was, a young management trainee. Oh, actually, I joined them straight as an assistant manager. I was one more employee.
Right.
So yeah, I got a feeling that, listen, I'm a cog in the wheel. ये बहुत बड़ी मशीन है और मैं उसका एक छोटा सा पुर्जा हूं. So my job was a very cushy job. I had to sell steel. I was in sales. And those days, steel was in short supply.
Oh, so it was easy.
So I would, yeah, very easy, very comfortable. Uh, we had a queue of people waiting outside my door, and everyone saying, Sir, mujhe steel de do, mujhe steel de do. And I was there, I was, and there were some products that were slightly slow moving. So my job was to package the fast moving product with the slow moving product so that it would sell. I did this for a year, but I said, "Ki, ye kya kar raha hu? This is like rationing." And in my MBA course, I had somebody had given me, glorious stories about marketing management and Kotler. ये ऐसा करना चाहिए. And here I was sitting as a rationing officer. So I said that if I continue to do this for the next, 3 or 5 years of my life, I'll become a vegetable. So without, and much to the dislike of my father, I put in my papers and I quit my job. I left the organization and I was, I had applied to another, company called Brook Bond in those days, sell red label chai.
Right.
And there was, stories about how FMCG is the place to be in, because that's where you actually learn marketing. So I went and joined Brook Bond. My first 6 months in Brook Bond, I actually really felt that ये तो गलत जगह आ गया. Right? Because they put me on to, they used to put me through a salesman's training, and they put me onto a bullock cart in the middle of a small village, and I literally had to, go to the fields to, for my toilet. And I would ride this bullock cart, ride into some shandy market, which is a village market, and there go and sell, chai pudiya by pudiya, because they used to have a product called, paisa packet, which actually sells by 5 paisa or 10 paisa a packet. And that's how, I said, ye kahan phas gaya? Here I was sitting comfortably in air-conditioned office, and ye mein kahan phas gaya? But somehow I said, I can't quit now. So I better stick it out. And the manager that who was assigned to me, he says, I don't think you're going to last here. You're, kahan aa gaya MBA karke? You're wrong place. So the more he said it to me, the more my back stood up. The more he told me that you can't do it, the more I said, no, I can't do it. And that kind of, put my back up to it. And I actually said, dikha ke rakhta hun.
Right.
And that's actually, so what I'm trying to tell you is that, sometimes a challenge brings out the best in a person. And this person challenged me. And as a young man, I decided that, I'm going to show this person that I'm better than him. And that's what I did. I stayed in Brook Bond for 5 years. I happened to be one of the fastest growing kind of young executives in that organization. I, rose to a position of a deputy manager and an area manager. They typically there is some national level contests, etc., and we kind of topped it. It gave me a lot of thrill. And one fine day at the end of 5 years, when the chairman of Brook Bond, his name was Mr. Samuel, he came to give me an award. I was area manager Bareilly, small little town in UP. And he gave me this award saying that, your area is the #1 area in the country. You've done a great job. Well done, Mukesh. And in the course of the evening, then, he was sitting there and his wife seemed to ask me, because his wife had come with him. The presentation was in Nainital, a nice place, it's so, Mukesh, you've done a great job. But tell me, what is it that you don't like about Brook Bond? And I, like a stupid fool, then, for the next half an hour, in the presence of Mr. Samuel, who was the chairman of the organization, told them all that was wrong with Brook Bond. So he said, no, he was, indulgent of me, and he said, no, what you're saying is right, this, that, the other, And then he said that, okay, what do you want to do now that you've done so well? And I said, listen, I want to move into, firstly, I want to move into marketing. Sales and marketing, different, move into marketing. So take me to Bangalore, Whitefield, where you are.
Right.
And I wanted to shift it to Whitefield from Calcutta. So he said, okay, I'll put up a request, etc., and you should go to this thing. And but then I realized again, like in my first job, I found that I had reached, for whatever reason, they decided not to, take me into marketing, and which meant I'd have to stay in sales for the next, 4 or 5 years. And I found that I was going to repeat myself. And so here I was again into another decision which I took, and which I think is a lesson which I'd like to share with the other youngsters who might be watching this program. I found that I was going to repeat myself, and my learning would, in the next 3 years, I would probably not learn very much new to what I was doing. So once again, I decided I'd move on, and then, so that's what I did, broke bond, and much to the dislike of Mr. Samuel, because I was, an outstanding performer. And so when within days of his, presenting me the award, I resigned. So I was called by the HR, director, and said, "What are you doing? You're doing so well." And I told him, "No, but I'm not learning. I'm not enjoying myself.
Right.
I want to move on." And so he tried to persuade me that, you've got a great future here, this, that, the other. And I said, "No, sir. Well, I think, I need to move on." So I quit my job, and I went and joined a very infamous personality, Mr. Vijay Mallya. Okay, I joined the liquor business, Daru ka Dhanda.
United Breweries.
And I spent the next, and I spent the next, 7 or 8 years of my life selling Daru. Now, a lot of people might imagine that selling Daru doesn't require much selling, because there are a lot of good takers to selling Daru, you know. But surprisingly, it is a very challenging business. Okay, we deal with, what we call takedars, well, these stalwarts in the business. And I rose to become the general manager of that company within those, 7 or 8 years that I this thing. Did well. We kind of launched some products. Some of the products, actually became big sellers. When I was the general manager of the company, we used to sell a brand of whiskey called Bagpiper Whiskey. I don't know how many people know, but Bagpiper
Everybody
Whiskey,
knows that, I'm sure.
everyone knows it. Okay. You're in the Air Force, you know. The Bagpiper Whiskey, I don't know how many people know, but at that point in time, or soon thereafter, was the world's largest selling whiskey. Can you imagine?
Wow.
26 million cases it became, later on it began to sell. When I was there, it wasn't that big. But so Bagpiper Whiskey is a great brand, and we built that brand together. And you know, uh, and the great thing is all consumed in India.
Right.
So a lot of good takers in India. I I had a very successful stint in the UB group. I enjoyed my work, learned a lot. It was a fantastic business. But somewhere down the line, you know, when I was about 35 years old and I'd become the general manager of this company, I, you know, had some professional difference of opinion with my boss. You know? Actually, the story was like this. What happened was that my boss was the vice president of the company, and he was chosen to do a 6-week course in Harvard Management School. The company sponsored it. So I was left in charge, during his absence. So this gentleman told me that, listen, Mukesh, be careful, do this, do that, this, that, the other. And, sorry, it was a 3-month course that he went abroad. So you're in charge, but, be careful in this thing. So I said, yeah, yes, sir, don't worry, go. So in the first month, when he went away, I was fortunate. And that boss was not a very likable fellow for some reason in the team, you know. But whether it was because of his dislike or otherwise, I was lucky. But he rang me up from Harvard, management school, and said, how did the month go? And I said, sir, very good, sir, very good. Says, kitna becha? So I said, sir, yeah, 3 lakh pedi bechiya, 3 lakh cases. He says, what? But 3 lakh cases, are you sure? I said, yeah, sir, 3 lakh. Because that was a record sale that had never happened before. And he says, paisa aa gaya, collection, what is the outstanding like? I said, no, sir, outstanding. How many days? So I told him, so many days. So, that's all right. So he said, well done, that's good job. But be careful, huh? I said, yes, sir, don't worry, sir. Then, one more month happened. And he rang me up again at the end of the month and said, how's it going, Mukesh? Kya ho raha hai? I said, good, sir, good. Kitna becha? Sir, 3,23,000 cases. He says, what? Buddy, kya kar raha hai tu? Are you sure? I said, yes, sir. I'll send you, just now, the detail. 3,23,000. Are you sure? I said, yes. What outstanding hai? Marega tu. So, kitna hai outstanding? So I told him, outstanding, ठीक है, sir. And outstanding already. And actually, the story repeated itself. 3rd month, again, I did something more, special. When this gentleman came back from Harvard, my super boss turned around and told my boss, looks like, Deepak, this business goes on better when you're not here. And that was something that I don't think the boss should have told him, because after that, this guy made my life miserable. Whatever I did was wrong. Whatever I didn't do was wrong. So one day I confronted my boss. I told him, boss, what's going on here? I'm not trying to sit, get into your chair. I happen to do well. So what? But if you're going to behave like this, then I'm sorry, I don't want to work for you. I'm quitting. And so word went up to my super boss. Mukesh, what are you doing? I said, listen, I mean, look at this fellow here. And then UB had, other divisions. I said, you transfer me from here. I don't want to work under this guy. Because you keep me here, I'm going to quit. But somehow the super boss didn't transfer me. So I looked around for another job and I quit my job. And I went and joined another tea company. Okay. Tea company is called a company called Harrison Malayalam. Okay, it's in the south. It is an RPG company. I became the vice president of the company. They were launching new teas. Because RPG was not known to be having a consumer product.
Right.
So I launched some products for them, and I'm told that 1 or 2 products that I launched still sell in Kerala. Okay, brand called Mountain Mist, doing well. But for some reason, they could not go national because the South India teas are different from the Assam teas, and their plans to open the tea gardens in Assam didn't happen. So as a result, with South Indian teas, you couldn't do beyond a certain point. We did some fantastic good work there again for 2-3. I worked there for 2 years. But because there was the scope of growth of, trying to grow the brand, I felt wasn't going to happen because of certain limitations within the organization. I again decided to quit my job. And this time I went and joined another, I went back to liquor because that's what I knew.
Right.
And I went and joined a company called Great Glen Distilleries, and I became the president of this company. So at the
Okay.
age of 38, I wasn't doing too badly in my life. I became the president of this company, okay, at 38.
I think one of the most desired whiskies come from Glen.
No, that is a different Glen that you're thinking of. That is a Scotch whiskey. This is an Indian whiskey.
Okay.
I mean, I did very well, but then for some reason, uh, the owner had some other plans, and we launched some very successful brands. At which point in time, my old boss from UV, another old boss, not the one that I had a dispute with, he called me, and he was the president of Shaw Wallace, and he told me to come and head the operations in Shaw Wallace, the liquor operations. They had liquor and beer. So I became the senior vice president of Shaw Wallace. And that was my last assignment in the corporate world. I, of course, again, I seem to run into, either bad bosses or bad entrepreneurs. I had a difference of opinion with the entrepreneur, Mr. Manu Chabadia, was the owner of Shaw Wallace in those days. Okay. And there were some unethical practices that were happening. And I decided that I was not going to be part of that. So I quit my job overnight.
Oh,
And I started looking for another job. And this time I said, okay, I don't want to work for and stuck with another bad boss or a bad company. But the kind of job I wanted, I didn't get. And the kind of job I got, I didn't want. So it took me 2-3 months. I was posted in Bombay. I came back to Delhi. And I was looking around for a job. And quite by accident, I stumbled into training.
okay.
So that was the year was 1996 when I got into training, right? And I've been in training ever since.
So we'll come to this part of your journey in a bit.
Yeah,
Uh, I would like to, get back to this journey of yours. And if I
yeah,
look at the brands,
yeah,
we are talking about a Tata Steel,
yeah,
most coveted. I know about Brook Bond, as you rightly said, since I stay in Whitefield
yeah.
and close to, we have a bus stop by the name of Brook Bond here.
Okay,
And
right.
yeah, and they had even launched motorcycles, if I remember, by the name of BSA Bond.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, well, that was a flop venture.
Yeah, it was a flop, but when
Yeah,
it
that's
was
right.
launched, it was quite a craze around in this area. So a lot
Okay,
of people used to ride around on it. It was a stylish bike. I think a little
right,
too big for its, occurrence in the event of bikes in the country.
right.
So post that, companies like UB and then
Mm,
Shaw Wallace, RPG, these are all brands that one would like to be associated with forever, if I look at it.
right.
And what I pick up as very interesting in the entire conversation is uh, there are two things. One is you can be satisfied in your comfort zone, doing what is expected out of you and remain there. And the other is going beyond what is required, and that has its challenges.
Yeah.
Going beyond either gets you out of your place
Mm.
or puts some people out of place, and therefore you feel out of place, and
Yeah,
therefore needs to move on. So
yeah,
this is what what I gather from your narration of events so
yeah,
far.
yeah,
And it's wonderful to note one thing, that if you are focused on doing something which adds value to yourself, then you wouldn't ever be satisfied in a or get complacent in a very cushy environment or a very comfort zone, and you would always want to do more and learn more and look for more.
yeah.
So
That's very
the
essential.
message that comes out is look for more and keep bettering yourselves, and that's the way to move forward in life.
Yeah.
So that's what I draw from this part of
So
your
absolutely, you have to keep sharpening the axe, like they say,
absolutely.
and that is the only way in which you can succeed.
So that was brilliant, Mr. Mukesh Ketrapal, because I think if people would just go through this conversation once again and look at how it needs to be managed, how life needs to be managed out of this, somewhere one question that comes out here is getting a job
Mm.
is always a challenge.
Yeah,
Getting a good job a bigger challenge, and getting a better job from a good job, much bigger challenge. And how does one take the decision of moving on at the drop of a hat, like a couple of times that you did in your uh,
No, you need to be, it's a good question. You need to be, of course, a little lucky. But at the same time, you should have a sense of belief. You should have a sense of belief in your capabilities, right? And I don't think that, any door will remain closed to you if you have a certain sense of a certain um, set of capabilities which you bring to the table. And those capabilities have to speak for themselves. Your past experience, your past proven experience actually becomes, carries the word for you.
right,
So you should have accumulated those credits. And of course, you got to be lucky because the timing has to be right. But people somehow, you know, underestimate their own potential. I think that, everyone has got the potential in him.
right,
So fear not, you're young people. No, you got to take your chance in life. On the other hand, you could be sitting where you are and feeling miserable of where you are just because you're secure. And that's, you're killing yourself. I mean, how do you, how would you look at your own self? What is the self-esteem you'll have in your own eyes? We have one life, so live it.
absolutely.
So that's my message to the youngsters. Fear not, but build on your capabilities, okay?
So I can see quite a few, situations as parallels in my journey so far, and it
Okay.
gives me happiness to see that I have followed my mind, and that gives me the pleasure and to do things that I like. So wonderful. It only as reiterates my feelings. So
Mhm.
thank you for that, and I'm sure it will help a lot of other people as well. So we now come to the second part of your journey where you started off on the uh, training organization that you built. So
Yeah.
more about that now.
Okay, like I told you, I was looking for a job. My intention was to stay in the corporate world and continue to do what I did. But somewhere down, quite by accident, at the end of, in my, after about 2 months when I was still hunting for my job, a friend of mine who by this time we had worked in Brookbond together had now become the managing director of a company called Frito-Lay. Okay.
Okay.
And Frito-Lay is was those days not such a big brand, but still, it's a Pepsi co-company, right? And he was the MD of that company. So he told me that, listen, Mukesh, you remember in Brook Pond, we used to face this kind of a challenge. And, it'd be nice if you come and talk to my boys. He says, I can say it to them myself, but there's nothing like a person from the outside who can speak to them. So why don't you come and talk to them? तो खाली बैठा हुआ है, come and talk to them. So I said, अच्छा चलो कुछ नहीं कर रहे थे, sure, I come and talk to them. So that talk became a kind of, one day. I spent that day and I talked to them. And after, the next day he called me up. He said, oh, it was damn good, yeah. बहुत अच्छा था यार. तो यार ऐसा है, एक ग्रुप और है, उसको I hope you don't mind. So a second program happened, and I again, repeated whatever I told them and added some more, in terms of my experience. And that program also went very well. So at the end of 2 days, then I said, yeah, acha, theek hai yaar. What ab 2 din ka, he told me I did it for a friend. Now I got back to finding my job, you know, and I still didn't, I hadn't got a job. And suddenly I got a phone call, number is given to me by so-and-so, this friend of mine. And yeah, do you mind, can I talk to you? I said, bolo. So he says, yeah, mere ko bhi ek aisa problem hai. So it's a sales related problem. So aage yaar tu, can you address him? This time he told me, I give you a small, payment also. I said, theek hai. So I went there and I spent, and it was another day with this new group. And again, since I knew what I was talking about, I'd spent so many years in sales. Okay, whatever I said kind of worked well. Yeah. And he said, oh, very damn good, yeah. Bahut acha hai, yaar. So I forgot, then I said, yeah, boss, aisa hai, yeah, looks like, I'm saying something right. So, bloody to hell with this job ka chakkar, let me bloody try and do this, yeah. Training bana the, you know. So I had one small room, the size of bloody God knows, 10 feet by 10 feet in Bikaji Kama place. And I said, I printed a card, you know, and I said, okay, I'm into, now sales training. So then I rang up all my friends. कि यार मैं training करता हूँ यार कुछ धंधा दो, give me some business. So actually many friends, out of pure this thing कि यार अच्छा चलो I know Mukesh, so and then somebody here and there passed on some business to me. But whatever I did seemed to work, and I started getting repeat business. So what happened was that, you see, the first time you request a friend, he'll give you, out of friendship, he'll give you work. Repeat business, you don't get like that. Repeat business games, provided that other chap actually has felt some value in what you delivered.
Right.
दोस्ती वहीं तक है ना, मतलब दोस्ती है ठीक है यार, उसको दे दे यार, कुछ काम दे दे. And I actually, from that day onwards, I never looked back. My calendar started getting more and more. But I realized one thing. I realized कि यार ये तो पागलपंती है. Salah running around, the whole, one day after another, एक program, दूसरा program. This is crazy, man. And then, how much can I make out of this? After all, I've got only, how much this karega? So then I said, boss, this is crazy. This I can't manage, beyond a point. If I want to grow this business, so at the end of about 10 months, I realized that, boss, I now need to take assignments where that I don't have to do it, but I will be supervising it because the volume of that business was more, although the price was less.
Right.
So I started accepting assignments which were voluminous in nature, where that's how business grew. Yeah. And actually, I never looked back after that. Yeah. What's more, to be honest, I enjoy this business. And I enjoy the business not because, perhaps for some reason that you were telling me just before we started this program. Listen, I enjoy talking to people, okay? And I enjoy talking to sharing my life's experiences with people. My hope is that if people get better from what if I can touch them, then that gives me a lot of joy and satisfaction. I've got a very small family. My needs are, taken care of. But money is not the prime purpose for which I do this work. I do it because it's a kind of payback for the fraternity that I know. And I'd like to see many young people succeed, if I can help them in whichever way I do. So that's where it started. Now we, over the years, happen to be a fairly large establishment, 70 odd full-time paid trainers and I employ. On a pan-India basis, we are operative. We are perhaps, I would imagine, amongst the top, 4 or 5 last 26 years, and a fantastic journey. So that's
Brilliant.
about, a little bit about what I do.
Brilliant. This was wonderful. And as you rightly said, an element of luck is one part of it. But once that element of luck kicks in once, it can give you an opportunity. But to capitalize on that, it is always your capabilities. And through your capabilities, you can then capitalize it, move forward, and grow it.
Right.
And that's what you've been doing. And probably that's exactly the message that goes out to people, that you can get one opportunity, but beyond that, it's what you do in that opportunity. How do you maximize it depends upon your capabilities. So that was wonderful. Now I have a very specific question with regard to this business that you're running now, and the impact of this pandemic on the business and how it is shaping up now. Looking at a lot of freelancers have actually faced a lot of trouble and problem during the pandemic.
Right.
And I know of quite a few examples who've gone through a lot of personal problems, professional problems, and are still encountering these problems because of the pandemic, where there are situations with no work, there are situations where there is work with uh, being paid a pittance, despite being the, if I were to say, the most preferred trainer in the past for the same assignment. So these are all the challenges that a lot of people are facing. So how has that affected your company as such, and how are you going through or facing, countering these challenges?
Okay, actually, I have been fortunate, right? The pandemic did initially, impact the business. See, because when know, hit, one of the first acted is training. Yeah, it's a low-hanging fruit to cost cut. So cut the costs.
Right.
Initially, actually, what happened was that, people were watchful. So people didn't lay off so many people. So what did they do?
Okay.
They said, Ki, Acha, since they're there, go training kara do. For a while, that happened. Yeah. And now Zoom pay, one session after another, Zoom call, Zoom call, Zoom call, karo. But after some time, people got very tired of Zoom calls. But for a while, that Zoom call phase did happen. And so we also adapted ourselves. Instead of doing classroom training, we also got into Zoom sessions and started doing it. But what I also did was, during that session, I also started doing webinars, where we every Friday evening series, Dakar selling, Dakar leadership, Dakar, this, Dakar that. And we did every Friday evening, we did a Dakar program. Initially, I would host the program myself and I would, do this thing. But then I found that, there were other good people who people wanted to listen to. So some other more well-known personalities. Okay, I invited them, for this Dhagar program, and we got into conversation, and it was all about corporate world. It was
Right.
about selling, it was about marketing, it was about customer experience, about leadership, about whatever, So it was all only this. And a lot of youngsters joined. We also had about 300-400 participants would turn up every evening, on Friday evening to watch that program. We also had some senior management people that, we would invite and they would come and listen to the program. Actually, that by doing that, what happened was there were many people, and since senior management people were also sitting idle those days because
Right.
pandemic had hit, kam
True.
kaaj kuch tha nahi. So acha chalo program attend kar lete. This guy sent me an invite. Sun lo. It worked well because some of the discussions that we did, we were and actually doing some good kind of, value added stuff. We were talking practical sense. So some of these senior people, when when the pandemic kind of improved somewhat, they started reaching out to me. And they said, Mukesh, I heard this particular session of yours, which was on selling, which was on spin selling and this, that, the other. Can you do it for my, for this team of mine? And first they invite me and said, listen, I mean, will it work? So I said, okay, let's do a pilot program, free of
Right.
cost. मैं भी खाली बैठा था, free में करते हैं. So they said, okay, that's great. So why don't you take a pilot batch and do a pilot, this thing. So they gave me some work to do on a pilot basis. And since we actually knew what we were saying, that pilot program actually, so when that happened, he says, I don't believe this. Yeah, this is fantastic. Yeah. So he said, no, yaar, ye pilot kara hai, I can't, I don't believe this. Yeah. So why don't you take a slightly larger pilot, wahan pe karke, but this time I'll pay you. So I said, okay, karte hain. So first I did it in Delhi. Then he said, no, let's do Maharashtra and let's do Andhra. So take these two territories. Now let's see what the result is. So I said, sure, yeah. We repeated the pilot. It gave outstanding result again. Not as good as the small pilot. In the small pilot, actually, it was a sales-oriented program. We already delivered a 33% growth in one month.
Wow. Fantastic.
So then next time he gave me 2 more pilots, he didn't give it 33, but it came to something like about a 21% growth, but which was also fantastic. He said,
Absolutely.
boss, this is great, man. Now you do this all India.
Right.
Now, I don't want to name the client, but what has happened is in the last 60 days, I 60.
Brilliant.
Compared to pre-pandemic, I am running 50% more than what I am, and hopefully by the end of the, next year I'll double my business. Yeah.
Super. That is wonderful.
Now, so what happens is that you got to reinvent yourself. You got to touch on the pain points of a customer. Return on training investment.
Roti.
You got to put your money where your mouth is. Training is not mandates or training. Training is supposed to deliver outcome.
Absolutely.
If you can do that, anybody will take you. There's no problem getting business.
Absolutely.
So that's been my message to, you maybe have gone through a difficult situation. However, in whatever area of expertise that you're operating in, go and accept the challenge. I will do this program free of cost for you. And let me show you the outcome. Your customer will be a fool not to call you. There's no problem. But you've got to deliver,
Yes.
tangible, measurable outcomes. If you can demonstrate that, business is there for the taking. I'm aware that, many of my other training, large companies have gone through a traumatic time. Many have downsized. You know, I don't know. In many cases, I'm getting called where they were operating. I have been able to, you know, people have been able to divert some of a large portion of their businesses to me. So business is there. If I can take it, then so could they. And I can say that so can anybody. But you got to deliver, boss.
Absolutely. It's all about
There's no
delivering the
problem. There's
desired
no
effect.
problem in getting business. Touch the pain points, give them a solution, deliver the outcome. You'll get the business. No problem. Okay, so
Brilliant.
that's my message to you.
So that sort of underlines, the desirable actions and what needs to be the mindset as you go out to garner business and then how to grow the business by doing your best, giving out your best, so that you get repeat business. It's all about repeat business and it's all about getting additional business, right?
You gotta be a solution provider. If you're providing a solution in the pandemic, there are more pain areas than ever before. Actually, it's a big opportunity for all the training, our people to come forth with a solution that will help them to elevate that pain. You'll get the business. But you have to deliver. It's not hard work. Of course, you got to work hard. That is basic. But you got to kind of deliver a solution. It's
Right.
consultative, which you put your money where your mouth is.
You need to
So
walk the
what
path and show the situation.
I missed that. I missed you.
Yeah, I
I
think
couldn't
there
hear
was a
you.
little disturbance in the uh, bandwidth at your end. But however, the idea is to hold the finger, walk the path, and be seen as a partner
That's right.
in growing their business. And that's how one can actually get into the
Yeah.
groove.
Yeah.
So that was wonderful, Mr. Mukesh Khetrapal. It was absolutely fantastic talking to you, and the kind of energy and the enthusiasm that you bring to the talk shows that what is the kind of enthusiasm that you would bring to the programs. And I have seen some of your Dhakat series as well. And of course, so if that translates into results, there is no reason why there would not be, recalls and more business. So therefore, I think the secret of success is therefore underlined there. That one, I always talk about it as roti. So दीवाना आदमी को बनाती है रोटियां, खुद नाचती हैं, सबको नचाती है रोटियां. So here the roti is return on training investment. So
Absolutely.
the trainer here has to think about roti in this aspect, and if that is done, I'm sure it will make a big difference to the way they are being looked at and the way they would look at themselves, I'm sure. So wonderful. Uh, it was absolutely invigorating, if not anything else, talking to you.
Thank you.
And I'm sure a lot of our people who would have watched live, who would subsequently watch this program, would definitely understand where are the loopholes and how they need to be plugged, and what is the kind of mindset that one needs to carry so that they can see themselves through out of this challenge that has been thrown by the pandemic, which actually is also an opportunity in disguise, as you rightly mentioned. So wonderful. Thank you so much, Mr. Mukesh Khetrapal. If there's any
Thank you so
parting
much.
words that you would want to share, and then we could probably close the live stream for today.
No, I just wish, the youngsters, success in what they're doing. Play your game to the brink, right? But take ownership. Training is general training is no longer, you know, the need of the hour. Your training has to deliver outcome. So try and work, to find a solution, to your to the agency to whom you are training, and I'm quite sure you will enjoy it. But you got to be passionate about it. So I just,
Absolutely.
you gotta love it.
And it needs
It's
to
a
show.
difficult profession.
That passion needs to
Yeah,
show.
yeah. Passion is to show. That's right.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much. I, very much enjoyed talking
Thank
to
you so
you.
much.
I wish you luck.
So until next time.